In this video guide, I'm going to talk about the master assessment self-evaluation. So as you begin arriving at the conclusion of a character outcome, so you've gone ahead and worked through the different defined mastery parts, your personal growth, this is all done and filled in, you're done with your learning experiences, you're continuing to meet with your mentors, and you're at the point where you think, yes, as a student I've arrived at competency for this character outcome. And so the first step you're going to need to do is to do a master assessment of yourself, a self-evaluation. And this page is where you're going to do that. So here again in the corner we have a video guide. You can click on that in order to see an overview again if you need a refresher, which is this video. Again, we have the character outcome here, and it's linked to the development path within PathRight. The student name, again, is linked to your Google folder, and here for your mentor team is linked to your the work of your student directly within PathRight for you to see that. Okay. Now, as you're thinking about doing an evaluation, you need to understand the rubric for evaluation, which we have here. Okay, it's a kind of a generic rubric that you're going to use for all your character outcomes. But it gives you just a brief summary of what it looks like for the different categories. And you can see there's four different categories. There's not competent, developing competency, competent, and advanced competency. You see description for the three aspects of content, character, and craft. And I'm not going to read through all these because you can. But if you're reading through this and you're thinking through the work that you've done and how you've made progress and if you've achieved competency, if you're reading through this rubric and you think that, you know what, I don't think I'm competent in the area of content, for instance, or in craft, I really don't know how to apply this, then you should stop right there and continue working with your mentor team to do whatever's necessary to continue to grow and develop and arrive at competency. So basically, if you're not competent, you should not be doing a master evaluation. Okay, and even if you're on developing competency, you should be really considering whether you should be moving forward with the master evaluation or not, or the master assessment. Okay, because in order to achieve an overall competency for the character outcome, you need to actually score. You can see each of them have a numerical value to them. You need to actually score at least an 8. Okay. And none of them can be a number 1 and not competent in order for you to, as we would say, pass, or to actually say, yes, this student has arrived at competency. Okay, so you need at least 2 3s and 1 2 in order to achieve competency, and no 1s, no known competencies. Okay, well, here's a tool that's going to help you assess where you're at as well. You can see there's a hyperlink here, and it actually takes you to a link. It's actually in the same document, just a few tabs down, to this post-evaluation outcome. And you can see it's going to be very, very similar to the pre-outcome evaluation, okay, that you did at the beginning as you were starting the character outcome. Okay, and this is going to, again, help you think through carefully in regards to the different competencies and objectives, whether you've arrived at competency. And I'll explain this in a different video, but this is going to be a tool for you to use in order for you to see if you have competency. Well, let me take you through a little bit more of this particular page of the Master Assessment Self-Evaluation. Here's the rubric, and here's the competency rating. So after you've kind of thought through, maybe you've done the post-outcome evaluation, now you're ready to rate yourself. You can see you're just going to click on this and say, on content, you know, I know the content really well. Okay, so I'm going to give myself a 3. I'm definitely competent in that. Definitely competent in the character part. In the craft part, maybe I can mostly apply it, but I'm still a little bit underskilled, and so I'm going to give myself a 2. Let's say I'm actually exceptional at the content part, and so I'm actually going to give me a 4. And again, as you use this master assessment or this post-outcome evaluation, it'll actually help guide you a little bit in what these numbers will be. Okay. So you can see I got a 9, and as it says here, I need at least a total score of 8 or higher with no 1s. So I would, according to this, I would have achieved competency, at least in my estimation. So the mentor team is also going to need to meet and consider your work and your growth, and to see if you've actually met competency as well. But your mentor team will also be able to see your ratings, and that'll give them an idea too of where at least you think you're at. Okay, you can see my name's here, and the date you're going to want to change. If you just click on it, you'll see a calendar pop up, and you can change the date. Let's say it's the 19th of January of 2023. But everything else here is already populated for you. The character outcome, the mentor team, your final score, 9.9 is automatically calculated. Okay. So, in addition to giving yourself a numerical rating, you also need to fill in you need to give a justification or reasoning why you scored that. So, and you can see in the content area, I scored myself a 4. And so I'm going to need to write a paragraph or two kind of justifying or explaining why I think that I actually have a 4 in the area of content according to the rubric scale here. Okay, and I'm going to do the same thing for character. Again, I rate myself a 3 here, so I'm going to need to explain why I think I have a 3, and maybe mention an area of growth I still need to grow in, since 4 is the highest area that I might want to still grow in. But again, the idea is that the student needs to explain why they gave themselves that rating. And then with craft, I rated myself a 2, and again, I'm going to explain why I rated myself a 2 and maybe not a 3, maybe some areas I still need to grow with. But I had made progress in this area, and to what extent, and explain that in a paragraph or two, related obviously to all the work and ways that I've grown throughout my time working on the character outcome. And so to summarize, you're going to want to review this rubric, use the post-outcome evaluation to help you determine a numerical rating, and then you're going to want to take some time, and you need to take some time, to give an explanation and justification of your ratings for each of the areas of content, character, craft. And so that's a summary of using the Master Assessment Self-Evaluation page.